we should have a clergy versus... Now, John, if you're going to give a less than... But it's kind of like cops, citizen on patrol. It can be looked at both ways, kind of. Police officers, peace officers accept that as the acronym, citizen on patrol. But they know a lot of times when it's not said lovey-dovey, citizen on patrol. There's usually an F in front of it. F, apostrophe. Okay, you can say an apostrophe if you wanted to. IN, cop. So yeah, there's that. Trying to keep up. This is going to get deep. This is like going to get deep. So if there's shrinks out there, they're going to struggle. Whereas I think Christians will probably, believers, excuse me, I retract Christians, believers in a God of the universe will probably fare better with this one, actually. Yeah, the human mind is going to struggle with this. I don't care how many letters you got after your name. Or in front of, or a middle name. Okay, here we go. Two students are sent to town to buy provisions for their school. A stranger meets them on their path and tells them of a shortcut. These two young students, are subsequently mugged and relieved of their money. They return to the temple, and the teacher goes to the first student. He asks, "What have you learned from this experience?" And the first student says, "Never trust a stranger." Sorry. And he goes to the second student, turns to the second student and says, "What have you learned from this?" Watch my inflection, because he wouldn't have done that. "And what have you learned from this situation?" And the second student says, "Expect the unexpected." So, the first student took a negative tack, took a defensive posture. A defensive posture. Like the way I said it, posture. All erudite. It's kind of like when my English teacher, when I actually sometimes went to class, mature. I'd be like, "Ooh, watch out. Can I at least say the B word, Jared?" Jared is such a harsh taskmaster. Oh, his tentacles, his holy tentacles reach from afar all the way into my den. And that would be a defensive posture. Whereas the second student took stick my head out of the sand and look around. What is it I've talked about that law enforcement has taught me, that I've learned in my training? Situational awareness. Blah. That's kind of like toy boat. Try to do that real fast. Never mind. So, keep your head on a swivel. Yeah. Take the aggressive, the positive, proactive approach towards a problem in your life. If I may just use that as a blanket in your life. Why do I get a vision of cake with candles on it? Your life, there you go. Remember that game, Life, by Milton? That was fun because it had all the colors, you know. Whew, thank goodness I didn't drop acid then at that tender age. That would have been like just way too much, especially with that little clicker wheel. Okay, so in the second story, my mother, God, I love that woman. What an angel. She was cruel, though. Mama, yes, you were. Well, I see who your teacher was. Battle Axe Wayman, my grandmother. Strong women. Well, I know you're going to find this hard to believe, but I have been known to use words of a flowery nature. Let's just leave it at that on occasion. Let's leave it at that all the time, but let's just leave that explanation on occasion. Yeah. Okay, moving on. So I get, I'm the baby, so I guess I'm going to Illinois. Something like that, somewhere. I just know I'm in a car for a long time. Oh! Quiet, for the sake of the non-viewing audience. And so when the game started out, when the road trip started out, I was given a sum of money. And for every time that I used a bad word, my mother would take a nickel away from her baby boy, the favorite son. There, I said it, Stanley. Ha ha, I was the favorite. Ha ha ha. Her little baby, she would take a nickel away. Well, I, being the high-spirited child that I am, I get that from her and her mother. Stanley didn't get that, thank goodness for his sake. That's why I got 3.5 blood pressure medicines and maybe a little self-prescribed one too. To finally find the groove. Oh my goodness. 170 over 100. Well, that's normal. Just relax, dude. Drill the tooth anyway. I'll let you know when I'm feeling bad. I'll let you know. My body will tell me. 170 over 100, drill. Just drill. Woo! And so I would just get, ticked off. I'm doing this for Jared. I want to cuss. Jared. Who is he anyway, really? He's some pastor somewhere, some podunk church, Come on. So, I'd be like, blank this game. Expletive deleted this game. And I just rattle off all the cuss words I could think of. 95. What is that? It's 5 times whatever that is. Help me. 2019, right? 19. I had to rattle them off and I'd get to 0. And I had no money left before we got out of to speed. Posted highway speed. And one of the people that I know by the name of Matt, some child psychologist, shrink is what he is. We ought to have it. There's something on my screen. Sorry, can you see the ball? No. Okay. Just don't go. I gotta take that piece of tobacco off the screen. Okay, that's better now. So I gotta review this to make sure there's nothing criminal in. You know what I'm saying? Well, I guess a bong would be incriminating, but not if you have a medical card. Do you have a medical card? Who's asking? Okay, where was I? So, and I'm just like poo-poo on this game, and I just run it down to 0. Go, there you go. Now I can curse all I want. And this acquaintance, Matt, this child shrinker, said that, and he had some, you know what I mean? I guess he paid a lot of money to learn that term. It was some fancy term. Negative reinforcement, okay, or something along those lines, but I'm not doing it justice. So, all right. It's worth it. Trust me. So, And I remember when Matt told me that with the fancy word on it. I remembered that. And I started to think back over my life and, things in general. And I started to think about my brothers and sisters. I know I'm so selfless. I'm just like God. Please don't strike me dead. You know that was tongue-in-cheek. Come on. I'm sorry. I retract that from the record. It didn't even come out of my little vile little mouth. Okay. Oh, I lost my thought now because I have a nice cold Red Bull in my hand. So, this is for you shrinks out there, because the Christians, dog nabbit, excuse me, my Muslim and my Indian brothers and sisters, if you have a belief in a supreme being, you understand where I'm going with this. If you do not, if you have earthly wisdom only, and I'm especially coming after the head cases, the shrinkers, why is it that a human being will tend to pick a form of manipulation, coercion, salutation, agreement, bargain? There it is. I figure if I kept talking, you'd bring it to me. A bargain. Why would a human being construct a bargain with negative terms when it could easily, this human being could easily flip either of those scenarios for the positive? The young student. He gave no concern, he gave no quarter to his frontal lobe in that moment, or very little, and he was reactionary. And he crouched. When he really needn't. As it was, and this is for you, and you know who you are. It was a teachable moment. Now, you could say he was a young, because he was a young boy. And I'll consider that in this scenario. But he gave, there's the but he gave really no quarter to the problem that was presented to him. He only reacted to his hurt of his pride, of his, in front of his fellow student, etc., etc., etc. Are you shrinks listening? Because this is really important. In the second scenario, my angel, learn behaviour, tabula rasa. Again, I touch on that. Learn behavior. She could have just as easily constructed the game, Johnny, for every 10 miles that fill it in, I won't insult your intelligence. But yet time after time, you will see this. Not in just these two little stories here, but everywhere. Everywhere. I won't insult you. Here I will. Government. Big stick. There. And I'm just going to stop because you see it everywhere. Negative reinforcement. Now you tell me why that is, shrinker. I'm coming after the shrinks in this one. Hey, the Quran is coming up, okay? Oh, I was going to say something. No. The Quran is coming up. I think, maybe. I have to get a hold of Salman. Can I do that anymore? Didn't he just pass? I don't know. I heard something on, brother. Mr. Rushdie. Why is that? Why do we tend to pick the negative over the positive? Here, I've amplified it, and I've told you about myself and my active addiction with ethyl alcohol and other drugs. How I tried to destroy myself. I picked the negative. Hell, you couldn't even answer the one about the frown in the grocery store when I charged a couple of you with it, and I'm pretty sure I did. Nobody could come up with a good answer for that one. I already had it. Human behavior. You do so much of it, and you don't even know you do it. And here, I put this before you right here, and I guarantee you, a lot of you out there are just bewildered at this point. You're thinking, what in the is this guy even talking about? Whoosh, right over your head. Here it comes. I'm sitting up. Here it comes. I gotta crack the Red Bull. I can mask it no longer. A little sip, because I just spat out my dip. I felt you needed to know that. I don't have to use the bathroom yet, but you know how that works too. Number one. Number two is I'm not announcing that. I'm just going back there and, I'm doing what I have to do. But number one is you announce that to family and friends. I have to go pee now. And we're all like, okay, thanks for reporting that. We need to know that. There's another little, why do I yawn when he yawns? I gotta go pee now. Why do I yawn when he yawns? Yeah, it's so nice. 6,000-year-old Earth. I'm sorry. I'm getting some Red Bull. It's good. It's nice and cold. Hold on. Punchline. Can I even remember the punchline? I doubt it. Don't want to ruin this for the pastor. He might want to use this one. And I've been very good with my verbiage and my references to myself and my behavioral patterns. It's because you have a cord that runs through you that says, I deserve punishment. Whether you like it or not, it's there. The branding mark is on your heart. It's on your soul. I deserve damnation. I convict you. I now no longer wear that brand. And I took what you do, you earth people do, as we lovingly say in AA, and I took it, that cord, that fiber that runs through your very being that says, I deserve punishment. Well, I took it to the nth degree. You see, I brought it out into the world for all to see through my DWIs and my this and that and stealing from my mother we all have it. It's just that I was able to cater to mine a little more effectively than you could. And now that self-destructive behavior, oh, it's still there. As we say in AA, I love that program. I'm mentioning it again today. And then I'm going to go look at my black Chariot. Can I get to be called up in it? Not too soon. But remember, no sparklers. If Michael puts one sparkler on my black Chariot, it's going to be a problem. But then I got the boys. Okay, you're digressing. Long enough to absolutely forget where I'm at. Give me a second. I do that to see if I can find my way back. Okay, I hit that. Positive's got to be positive. Shh, hold on. I can do this. That cord, there it is. You see that cord that runs through me? That says I'm no good? That says I deserve punishment, and you have it too. Oh, it's there. The Holy Ghost has taken that cord and fashioned it into a leash. And he has wrapped it around my heart. Oh, does that sound syrupy? And the ghost and I, as his beloved pet, go walking down the country roads together. Because I gave that cord of self-destructiveness to him. And look what he did with it. He turns the bad into good. Because he's positive. Be positive. What is it they say? And I'll end on that. It's so hokey. What is it? A frown only takes two muscles and a smile only takes pick some number less than 10. But a frown takes 57 muscles. And remember, we talked about 57 is in fact a prime number. I had time to go back and go through my times tables. Didn't you hate learning that as a child? I did. I thought, it's just so mundane. And then I learned it, so what? And really, has it really helped you? 8 times 8, what is it? See, does 64 really associate 64? I dare you right now, associate the number 64 with something germane in your life. Don't be 64 years old listening to this. See, you lose. So why did you even learn those times tables? I like it when people say times tables. So why did you even learn those timetables? Is it times tables? Who cares? I love you.